Hello everybody and welcome back to another Get to Know interview. This time, guys, we are interviewing TwistyChase. We're going to be talking about YouTube. We're going to be talking about Twisty in general. We're going to be talking about Fortnite. And this is an opportunity for everybody's viewers to get to know your favorite creator outside of just the content that they make. They want to get to know more about the person behind the channel that you all love. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels, and today, guys, like I said, we have TwistyChase with us today. It has been an absolute honor talking with him, although I am recording this before we actually speak. I'm sure it's an honor. Twisty is becoming a good friend over online. I'm glad that I met him. I cannot wait to talk to him, guys. Links will be in the pinned comment description down below. If I sound weird, I'm still under the weather. Kind of deep breathing. We got over all the allergies in the fall. Now I'm sick. What's going on over here? Okay, guys? So hopefully you deal with that. Thank you so much for being here. Let's talk to TwistyChase. Twisty, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, man.
Of course. Can you introduce yourself, share a bit of your background, your content, and what inspired you to start working over here on YouTube?
Yeah, so I'm Chase, aka Twisty. I make a variety of Fortnite content, pretty much just whatever I'm feeling, like retrospects, rankings, just commentary videos. What inspired me for content in general, I think it's pretty similar to most of us. I've had many channels dating back all the way to like the early 2010s and, late elementary school doing vlogs and showing off my collections. And then, I switched, try to do some Marvel content like in high school. And then after COVID, started getting a lot more into Fortnite. So after a few years, I decided to dabble in and try the content. And then here we are.
I didn't know you actually had a bunch of other channels. I don't think you've mentioned. I don't know if you've mentioned that to me personally.
Yeah. That's something that's like my buddies and stuff are the only ones that know. Like I don't even have access to them. Like because they were all under my dad's information, and we can't get into that now. So it's just like, I don't know, like I can't delete the videos. So I mean, eventually someone might find them. They're out there. There's some good ones, but yeah, I mean, I can't do anything about it. So someone's either going to find them or they're just going to sit there forever. But I mean, there's some quality content there. I mean, I'm talking vlogs. Like there's a video of me running down the hill and absolutely eating the dirt. And it was pretty funny.
How long ago did you make those?
Oh God. Dating back to like 4th grade.
Oof. Okay. Yeah,
like I used to have a handheld vlog camera.
That's so sick. Dude, I was gonna ask you to send me over those videos, but I didn't know it was that long ago. Do you even remember the title of any of them?
Oh gosh, no. The only thing I know is I try to go by a tagline. Like my brother was like, "Oh yeah, you need a tagline," because like we were trying to copy like Roman Atwood vlogs and stuff like that.
Oh my god!
And I just know my name was Mr. Epic Monkey. That's all I remember.
Yeah, you were killing an OG YouTube then.
Oh yeah, OG.
Oh my god! So did any of them Did you upload regularly to any of them with the goal? Because you said you started to make Marvel content too. Did it not get serious until over here?
Yeah, not serious until over here. And I mean, you can even look at my channel. Like, it didn't really even start to get serious here until like December of last year. Because I used to do leak content, and like that got pretty decent views. But then I was going on a trip with my girlfriend, and I was like, well, I need some videos to come out while we're gone. So I made a video on the worst Fortnite seasons, and according to that Fortnite GG website, so it was like like riding the thin line of not being controversial but like also giving my input at the same time. And I mean, I was down there and that ended up getting like 40 some thousand, so I was like, all right, well, here's the way to go.
Well, that actually drives me into the next thing that I was going to ask you about, because when did you decide to stick with commentary content? So was it just after that one video?
Well, I mean, like anything, like even now, if I make content and it's like a one and done type thing, like even if it gets views, I won't stick with it if I don't enjoy it. So it was a combination of just like, I enjoy talking like about things I like. And it was like, I'm having these conversations with my friends and like that play the game with me. I'm having conversations with my brother, my girlfriend. Like, so I mean, why not just put a mic in my face and talk about it and see what people think,
That's funny. It's exactly how I started my YouTube channels as well.
Yeah, because I get hyper fixated on like things that I enjoy, especially games, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a no-brainer.
How'd you get into Fortnite? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Fortnite, I mean, I have a bumpy history with it because like chapter 1 was like, everyone in high school was playing it, and I'd play with my buddies. Like I played like 4 or 5 of the seasons, like on and off. And then chapter 2 is when I really started like actually playing. So like
Really?
yeah, so I had experience like I played it the first day it dropped with my brother, and then like I said, played it on and off, mostly like at my buddy's house. Like I bring my PlayStation and we'd play, or I'd play his like. So I mean I'm not like technically OG, but like I've played it since day one on and off.
Sorry, guys, I had to do a little bit of a quick jump cut over there. Twisty, continue on.
Yeah, but yeah, so I haven't been playing like every single season. I mean, I didn't even buy a battle pass. Even I played early in chapter 2, but the first pass that I bought was the Marvel one. I was like, okay, I finally have to give in. And then like that wasn't the season I started, but that's the season where like I started getting hooked, like playing daily.
Wow. What was it about the Marvel season that got you hooked?
Oh, I've just been Marvel fanatic like my whole life, so it was like it drawed me in because I was like I have extreme FOMO and I've always had that like with other games too. So I was like, "Oh, well I have to have these characters." And then, of course I played all the way up to like level 150, 160, and then I was like the next season dropped and I was like, "Oh, Mando's in it. Like it looks fun. Let me just give it another chance." And then yeah, it just stuck with it ever since then.
Did you stick with it the entire time, or did you end up taking another break from Fortnite?
Oh, no, it's been every well, I didn't play that much in Primal just because I really didn't like it.
That
But
was
I mean, I
actually my next
still,
question.
yeah,
Because you
I
said right
still,
after.
yeah, like I still tried it, but it wasn't for me. But it wasn't like a circumstance of like, okay, I don't like this, like I'm putting it down forever. It was just like I started college around that time, like it started getting heavy again. So it was like I was just like I'm not really enjoying it as much. Like I played it on and off here and there, but like I was not about it.
I get that. I never really understood the people who are, it's like, they have one bad season or have like a little bit of a bad face for Fortnite. It's like, I'm done with the game forever. I'm
Oh no.
uninstalling permanently.
No, like I hate vibing with like well not okay, hate's dramatic, but I very much did not like that season, but like I still got to level 200. Like I still played it all the time.
I've never really, there was never a period in Fortnite where I didn't enjoy it, but there were definitely
Mhm.
seasons that I didn't like more than others. Like Vibin's definitely one of my least favorite seasons ever. Now people love it.
Yeah, because it's funny that you say that because I just got done before we hopped on, I was recording 2 videos and I was just like I addressed that point of like how it's just so like people I was talking to Smurf yesterday because he's doing some like interviews for creators. And it's like chapter 5, like it's gonna happen within like a year. Like people are
Oh,
gonna be like, oh, like I missed chapter. Like it's already happening with season 1. Like
yep.
I've repeated over and over. Season 1 is the best season of the chapter. No, it's not. No, it's not. Overrated. Blah blah blah. Now it's like TikTok nostalgic edits of it, and it's like POV. It's 2022, and you're hopping on with bro. It's just like, come on.
Dude,
It's so predictable.
I feel that way so hard about season X too, and it's funny that you mentioned you were just recording. I just sent or I just was just making things over for Pojo because he's I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, he wanted a retrospective on each season. He had me do season X, and I was like, okay, I've always loved season X, and I was an OG lover of season X. I loved it all the time. Not now that you're just hearing about it, everybody just happens to love season X. I actually liked it.
Yeah, I mean that's how I am. It's like I'm also OG Vibin hater too. So it's like
Same.
like I just like I don't know, like it's obvious it's like obviously you can change your opinions on stuff, but like this community, it's like okay, this was a long time ago and I bias like nostalgia bias, like I like this part of it, so I automatically love this season now and it's the best thing ever.
Yep, it's crazy how it works sometimes. This community is just weird, man.
Oh, and we get the prime end of it being a content creator. You get
Oh
the
yeah.
you get the extremes, the middle, and then the tame people like all in one.
Yeah, that's what I love
And it's
about this is what I like about, and I was just talking about this too with I can't remember who I did last. Crap. Oh, Mr. JOY. That's what we were talking about, and it's funny how we're starting to see like a bunch of really like cool people within the Fortnite community come across
Mhm.
all of our channels. I think that's really cool to see.
Oh yeah, it's like pretty much every stream that I drop in or like another creator drops in like to my videos or
Hmm.
something, like it's always the most engagement. Like
Yeah.
Smurf likes to like fake hate comments on my stuff, like oh Wolverine slander, and he always gets like absurd amount of likes compared to everything else.
Dude, I have a friend that does that to me on my other channel. It's horrible. If you don't, I don't know if you don't know anything about MMA, do you?
Um, I'm not gonna lie to you and say I do. I mean, I have a base interest for it. Like my buddies are obsessed, like to the point where it's like Saturday nights at 1 a.m. They're like, everybody come over, we'll
Oh,
watch
that's
like
me.
UFC.
That's me.
But yeah,
That's my life. But anyway, so I have another MMA channel, right? And one of my
uh-huh.
good friends, one of my good friends, he always does that to me because MMA fans are like arguably more toxic than the Fortnite community. So I could have this like really really cool video coming out. My friend will come in and just say nice shirt virgin, and then like I'll get all of the hate comments under that. Like, yeah, what is this guy wearing?
Oh my gosh.
I do love that about the internet sometimes.
Oh, like the they jump on hate just to like jump in with the crowd,
Yeah,
and
it's funny sometimes, and then other times it's like, come on, dude.
yeah, it's funny because like I said, like you know, like for the like Pilverine situation, like Smurf likes the skin, and like I think it's pretty like unanimous to be like like it's a cool skin, but like at the end of the day, it's a meme skin. And he'll
Mhm.
obviously be like, "Oh, I hope both of your pillows, like the sides are warm when you go to bed."
Yeah.
And then there's people like, "Oh my God, Twisty's so stupid. Why would he like? Why does he hate that skin? It's the best skin in the." And it's just like they take it like so far. Like they can't like the reading comprehension of like sarcasm is just it's not there for them.
I know. I'm at the point where when I have to comment things that are sarcastic, I have to use like the glasses emoji and the two fingers to like
Dude,
really
it's
make it clear, or like a million exclamation points.
well, see, I'm not family friendly by any means, and I'm not like, oh, no toxicity, blah blah blah. But like, I try my best as a creator to like put my habit of like, hey, this is a commentary based channel. It's open for discussion. So like when I disagree with someone, it's like, oh, I'm glad you like that, but I disagree.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying to implement that in my comment section too. And so
Hmm.
far, like it's worked so many times where I'm like sitting at my desk and I'm just like, I really just want to like pull the curtain back and just like go all out on that comment because like some of them just make me so mad.
So
Like,
it's the new
oh
generation of like everybody's too comfortable like talking behind their keyboard. You know, it's
yes.
the arrogance of some people are just insane to me.
Or the brain rot comments. That's what I hate. Like anytime there's anything to do with ranking, oh, never let bro cook again. It's like, dude, come on. Like it's not original. And you know it's because they want to be the first one to get that like snarky
Yep.
little comment that gets like 200 likes because if someone else comments it, no one else comments it for the rest of the video.
Yep.
It's only once per video and it's always somebody different.
And I
It's
love that
oh
it's
man.
I love that it's like within like let's say your video's 15 minutes long and it'll be like published 3 minutes ago. Never let bro cook again.
Yep. They saw your first, like your introduction, or they saw that you had a little bit of rage bait in the title, and
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, meh, meh, meh."
You know what's funny? Actually, I just saw on Twitter and I reposted it, and it was a concept for what somebody would like to see on YouTube, and I would love to see this where somebody posts a comment and then it's like the community note thing on the comment where it's like this viewer watched this amount of time from the video.
Viewer stopped at 0.12.
Yeah, no, literally. Like I would love to see that on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that would be good, but I think that'd just be too complex. Because then it'd be like invasion of privacy. Because they're like, "Oh, this user stopped watching at this point," and I feel like it'd be pretty
I don't
complex
know
to
if you're
like get
commenting.
that
Is it
into a
really that
feature.
much of an invasion of privacy?
Yeah, I mean that's true.
But anyways, let's get back to you a little bit. Let's get back to your channel. I was gonna ask you if
Yeah.
there was one video that started to like pop off for you because your channel's doing very well right now. Was there one video that kind of gained you a bunch of traction, or was it a slow, gradual rise?
It's kind of been a roller coaster. I mean, I'll be the first to admit, like, my biggest enemy is myself. Um, like when I'm posting very consistent, like I get a large number in rise, and they're pretty much like every video ranges from like 5 to 6K is like the average, and then
Mhm.
you'll get the ones that are a little below, or sometimes the ones like the one I just posted where they'll go up. But I don't know, it's like pretty much every single video is I'd probably say a slow rise
That's
because
good though.
it hasn't yeah, and I honestly I mean I like it that way
Hmm.
because if you have a steady progression, I mean obviously it's like, you know, the same amount of subs or views from this video, like you're continuously getting it rather than two or three huge videos and then you publish two or three after that and it's like tanked.
Yeah, and then
And I also and I
you
also think that oh sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you also build a community easier that way too.
Oh yeah, and like I think the biggest and I've talked to plenty of creators like not even just inside of my little realm that I have, but like one-off conversations of uh creators where it's like they'll put out a video and like they don't understand the discipline after just getting one viral video per se, like, you know, not super viral, but like for our little niche community. And it's like it all instantly goes to their head, and it's like you can tell it does. And then the second they start getting that reality of like, hey, YouTube doesn't care how much time you put into that video. Like some of your videos, even if they're the best video that you've put out, like some of your videos just aren't going to perform. And it's like if you don't understand that, like I think that's the biggest recipe for failure. So like I'm happy I have a steady growth rather than all at once, because it could definitely go bad.
That's actually really powerful. I like that a lot. That's something that a lot of people on YouTube need to understand.
Well, I also think it's just a natural selection because it like weeds out the people that, and I'm not saying more people are deserving or not, but like it weeds out the people that are just doing it because of the numbers. Like, you know, there was a period where I'm in my pause between my bachelor's and master's right now. But I mean, there was a period where I would wake up at like 3 in the morning, record a video for like an update or something, go to work at like 6 or 7, go to class, and then like, you know, get like 50 views, and I'd be ecstatic. Like I have a screenshot. It's like even from chapter 4, season 4. It's like it's been that, you know, recent that I experienced that stuff of like I have a video that got 100 views in the first 5 hours, and I sent it to my brother like freaking out. And it's just like that steady progression. Like it just humbles you a lot.
I actually love the way you look at that, because and this is something that I never really understand about people. You know how I look at it? Like 500 people took time out of their day to watch your video, especially if the watch retention's good. That's the way I look at it. Like I never really, there's videos that I have that definitely don't do as well. And the way that I still see it is like, even 10 people, if 10 people wanted to watch a video, I'm like, dude, 10 people sat down and watched the content. I think that's sick.
Also, yeah, like the viewer retention, like a lot of people like they'll put out like 10, 15-minute videos, and it's like, oh, I only have 50% viewer retention. It's like, dude, like you have 20. I mean, I'll be transparent. Like the one that I just put out, I think it's like close to 19,000 now, and it's at like 52% viewer retention. And it's like the fact at 19, like, you know, 15, 16 minutes into a video, like 8, 9,000 people are still there listening to what you're saying, like average. Like obviously, you know, it's not exact number, but yeah, like I mean, as long as you are putting out a video and it's like you said, the retention, like I think that's the stat that I worry about the most, because, you know, you can have 20, 30,000 views, but if your average retention is 35 seconds, I mean, those people are clicking on and instantly they're not being hooked, or it's just like you're not delivering. You know,
right.
like I that's the most important part of the video, and that's why I always save it for last.
You're right.
Because you know, like I like to edit the whole video, and I'll sit down, I'll rewatch the video, then I'll do the intro separate, because it's like putting like all my last ditch effort. Like no matter how long this takes me, at least I know it's the last thing, because it's the most important.
Yeah, well said. And it's that, I don't know if you ever heard this analogy too, where it's like, you just imagine talking to a classroom and that's only like 30 people. Now multiply that by whatever amount of views that you just got. That's a crazy amount of people that you're reaching. And people have been so numb to like the 1,000s and the 5,000s, like even the 10,000s.
Yeah, I mean, in high school and college, like even in college, like a peak of like 150 people in my class, like I had extreme anxiety of like getting up and just presenting in front of them. Like I had a class that was like 15 kids, and I talked to them like every single day. Like we all knew each other very well. The professor was super relaxed, and I was so paranoid just to get up and talk. And like the idea that like any given video, there's like thousands of people just like sitting here and it's just like listening to, like, it's just crazy. Like it makes me giddy just like thinking about it. Like it's just so, I don't know. It's surreal.
No, I get that. You're doing a good job. Like I really enjoy what you do.
I appreciate that, man.
So
now that if you want to get on the personal, I mean, I'm not, no glaze here, but like I'm being serious when I say like your channel, and there's a few others, or like the few that I watched like prior to getting in. So I mean,
oh well, that means
I've taken a lot from you, like you and some other people that I watch. So a lot of credit goes to you.
It means a lot. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, I want to talk a little bit more about you as well. Like you just mentioned a little bit of personal things. Now, I know this about you, but if the viewers may not, or I would imagine that the vast majority of people don't know, do you work and or go to school outside of YouTube?
So right now I'm in intermission. I mean, I go back to school. It's pretty much up to me, but I'm eyeing like January to February. I do work on videos in some form every day, but I have a part-time job that I've had since I started college at a retail store near me, and then I also do door dashing at night too. So I mean, technically like three things I'm juggling, but recently actually YouTube's been doing well enough for me that I dropped to 1 day a week at my part-time, and I've been doing DoorDash and YouTube have been my main two jobs.
I love that. That's awesome. That's a nice feeling, eh?
Oh, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like I'm sure you can, you can see like because you know the analytics and the inside of like
Yeah.
RPM and stuff. Like, I'm not sitting on money at all, but it's like it's the potential is there that like if I lock in and I have enough time, because that was my biggest issue is I would work like 6 to 3s or like 8 to 3s. So it was like I woke up. I had to get up too early to like want to get up and record and edit at that point. And then it's like then by the time I got home, I was just so tired that like sometimes it was a struggle just to get a video out a week.
No, I get that. How did you get over the like juggling all that?
Uh, I I didn't, if that's like the best way to put it. I still don't. I mean, at this time we're speaking, I tomorrow I'm starting the hopefulness of daily uploads. And
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah, I'm sitting on 6 videos recorded right now, and it's like it's
Ooh.
nice, but I'm already just in my head. I'm just like, oh well, I'm sitting here like writing my script for said video, and then I'm like, oh well, I want to talk about this in that other video that's a week planned after that, and then I switch over to that script, and then I switch over to editing this video. So it's like I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. I'm terrible at planning, terrible. So it's like I kind of just go with the flow, but that's why I want to challenge myself with daily is like I want to get up 6, 7 in the morning, grind it out, do my job, like go work, make money, and then come back and record the next video that I need to get done. It's like I'm trying to get in a routine because I've noticed a trend, especially with a lot of guys that have grown, is that once you get whether it's one video, like a video every day, every two, every three, or even like Smurf who does a video once a week, like once you get that repetitiveness in and like YouTube knows when you're posting, like I feel like that's when you get the most success.
Yeah. I've never personally figured out like, and I don't know if you feel the same way. Actually, let me ask you about this, or if you find the same kind of analytics for you. It's such a wide range for me on when I'm supposed to publish. All of my viewers are on from my time from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah, see, mine are I want to say it's like the Monday through Fridays. It's like 11 to 6, and then it says the best time to post is at 4. But then it's like then I think about the logistics of that, and I'm like, all right, well if they're on from 11 to 6, why do you want me to post at 4? Like I
Yeah.
get that's when they're most active because kids getting out of school, people getting off of jobs, like stuff like that. But honestly, I've talked about this with aggro. I found the most success in my videos posting at like 5 or 6 at night,
Interesting.
and I don't know why that is. Like I'm not sure if it's like the algorithm where it's like the CTR will drop so much because you post it at the height of when your people are on. So it's
Yeah.
like maybe if the sub CTR is lower since more people have seen it, like YouTube doesn't push it as hard. Like I don't know, but like views and retention rate, CTR, like I've done better posting later. I don't know what it is.
Interesting. So far for me,
And
it's the earlier in the day.
really, and it
It's
also
weird how that
helps my
works.
anxiety, dude. Because like I will sit here and refresh like the CTR, and if the CTR drops below like a 10, like I'm over here panicking, like redoing my thumbnail.
That's funny. Yeah, I need to do a little bit more of that because I publish it and I'm like I yapped for a bit, put it over some gameplay, published it, and we're good to go on to the next one.
Well, see, but the thing that I've learned is, I mean, I was the same way back when I was getting like 50 views per video. Like, no matter how much success I see with it, like, I'm always going to be chasing that higher number. So it's just something I have to accept that, like, I don't know, like, I try to turn off my phone. I've done well about it like a few times. Like, I'll turn off my phone. I won't open up the analytics tab till it's like 3 hours in.
That's not bad.
But it's hard. It's just hard.
It's understandable though. You want your videos to do the best.
Yeah, and it's like I also want to interact with people in the comments, and it's just like if I leave my phone aside for 3 hours, obviously can't do that.
That's true. That's a good point. But I want to ask you, moving on a little bit, I want to ask you, and I don't know about this, I'm not even just asking for the viewers. How did the Worthless Opinions podcast come about, and how did you meet those other guys?
So, I noticed that Rim I noticed he made a video that was pretty similar to my video, like, and I commented on his video just because like he was a smaller channel at the time, like I think he was under like 1K, and I was like, hey man, like really enjoyed the video, like, you know, great potential, like keep going, keep doing what you're doing. And then he responded to me, and we kind of like exchanged conversation a little bit through his comments and like commenting on each other's videos. And then I messaged him on Discord to reach out for a collab. We did a collab, I want to say, gosh, it was like season 1 of this chapter, we did one together. And then he actually came up with the idea that he knew Smurf and then Smurf knew Aggro. So it was kind of like all connections. And then it was like, hey, let's make this group chat together. And then we got the group chat together. Then it was like, hey, let's do a podcast together. And then even now, I mean, we're still kind of branching out. Like we've had, you know, you, Clark, Brivy, Leo, like a bunch of guys. And we're even expanding to the people that like want to be a part of like the core, like every week. Cause we're starting the podcast back up next week. And Brivy and Pojo have like committed to like being like core part of it.
That's awesome.
So it's like we're still even just trying to like our goal is just to have as many people as we can.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. I enjoy the podcast.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, even like stuff like this, like I love doing it because it's just like, even though it might relate to like, you know, when I'm doing so much of my day of like with YouTube and like Fortnite and stuff, like it just still feels like a break.
I get that. It's kind of like just talking with some friends. That's kind of how I felt when I was talking with you guys on there.
Yeah, and like I don't have to be formal. Like I don't have to like structure
Yeah.
my sentence a certain way, and like I can like mess with people in the comments a little bit, like kind of pick at them, and it's just like,
No scripting.
yeah, and it's like it's just nice.
I love that. So speaking of like, I guess a Fortnite topic, I want to ask you: is Fortnite even your favorite game?
Oh God, yeah, for sure.
Oh, not even. There was no hesitation there. Do you play any other games?
See, I'm not okay. I'm not a hardcore gamer in the sense of like every single RPG or something that comes out, like I grind it, stuff like that. I mean, growing up, I played games all the time. Like I love like Left 4 Dead, Bully, the GTA games, like all the stereotypical games, like Call of Duty. But like as I've gotten older, like I'm very selective on like my entertainment in general. Like I don't really like watching TV shows unless like I'm really into it. Movies are the same way. Like if it's not like a Marvel or a horror movie, like I'm kind of hesitant going and seeing it. And I'm kind of just the same way with games. Like in the past 2 years, I think I played like Red Dead, God of War, all 3 Spider-Man games, obviously like Call of Duty and Mortal Kombat. Like that's really all cycle around nowadays.
Are you gonna get Black Ops 6?
Oh heck yeah, I'm getting it.
Oh, we gotta run some Black Ops. Actually, you're
Oh
ringing
dude,
a
I'm
bell.
so
We might have
down.
actually talked about that.
I think we briefly mentioned I don't remember when it was. I think it might have been when we were all playing like a couple weeks ago. I think we mentioned Black Ops 6, but it was very vague.
That sounds about
But
right.
yeah.
Um,
I'm hyped for it. But me and my buddies we're all going to a trip this weekend, like a cabin getaway. So like
Oof.
we're all like, "Oh yeah, let's stay up play BO6 all night, like get some Mountain Dew at the gas station,
Oh,
just chill out." And then we're like, "Oh, well shit, we're going to be on a trip together, like up in the
that.
mountains."
I mean, at least you'll be together. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously I wouldn't rather sit at home and play the game than experience like a weekend trip with the guys. But
Fair enough.
I'm very very excited for it. I was talking to my brother about it today. It's just like I saw you get to customize the reticles again, and it's like everything just looks so. I'm not getting too optimistic, but everything looks so pre-realistic days, and I'm very
Yes.
excited for it.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. And I'm definitely gonna be streaming it, so we'll run it sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime I'm down.
Cool. Now, branching off of that, what are your thoughts on the Fortnite content scene at the moment? I've been very excited to talk to a lot of people about this, and everybody's had their own unique answers because there's a lot of people quitting Fortnite content right now, and there's also a lot of people like on the rise with brand new commentary channels.
Um, it makes me excited for the people that are starting up, and not only because um just for them, but like just the community in general. Like the more eyes that we can get on other creators, like it distributes out. Like I've seen that with our little Worthless Opinions crew. Like it definitely happens, and I'd say our little niche is really good, but I think overall Fortnite content is kind of it's on a down spiral from like the higher ups because it's just like every other video is just the same 5 ideas recycled.
Sorry, what do you mean
And
by down spiral?
like I'm saying like the people, like the bigger creators, where it's like they all recycle the same content,
Hmm.
ideas of like fashion shows, hide and seeks, and it's like I feel like the more, like the less creative that the people at the top get, I feel like it hurts us in the long run because it's like they have the most exposure to the community of
Hmm.
people that enjoy this, and it's like, oh well, I'm not watching Fortnite because like it's already a, you already have a stigma against you, and you're like, oh, I'm a Fortnite YouTuber.
Yeah.
And it's like these people make it worse because it's like, well, I'm a Fortnite YouTuber. People probably automatically assume that you're yelling at the camera as soon as the video starts
I
and
see. I
like the
see.
button to turn it green. Like, I just feel like that as a whole, it's like made the content worse, like at face value. But I feel like the people at the that are like the structure of it right now, like I feel like the people coming up are 10 times better in terms of like creativity, how they interact with their communities, like being humble, like seeming like real people.
Hmm.
So I feel like the future of content is very, very strong, but it's like I don't feel like we're going to reach that potential until the smaller creators get to a point where they're rivaling the bigger ones. And I don't know if we'll ever get there because I mean they're such juggernauts where it's like Cypher PK can make the same video I make with the same thumbnail, but just put his face right on it and it's going to get 2 million views.
Dude, we're gonna take over. We're all gonna take over. I'm ready for it. I'm
I hope
confident.
I I hope it happens. I mean, and it's not a diss to those guys because they've put the time in, they've put their
Hmm.
work in, but it's just, and they put their money on this game before they knew what the outcome was going to be. Like I watched Typical Gamer before Fortnite even came out, like his GTA live streams and stuff like that. And I'm sure you know of Tabor Hill, right?
Yes.
Like Tabor has talked millions of times about how his COD channel getting like 100, 200,000 views and he switched to Fortnite because he liked it. And it's like, so everyone's taken their gamble, but I just feel like a lot of them have just gotten too comfortable. And I want to preface that I'm not talking about Tabor. I want to just like separate him from those other people because I really like his content.
But even if like I'm totally with you on that. There's the people have worked to get where they are, and there's absolutely no dig with them. And I don't even blame them for making the same content. If
Yeah,
it isn't
yeah.
broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, like I'm not one of these people, like I see a lot of, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword when these people do it. Like they make a video on how like content creation is like dead with Fortnite, like insulting these creators. But like at the same time, like you said, I mean, they're just doing what gets them money. Like they're being
Yeah.
rewarded for what they're putting out.
Hmm.
So it's like I'm not gonna have a personal vendetta against them or say that like they're bad creators. It's just I just feel like the type of content they make makes the general audience that we're trying to hit harder to hit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's in a weird transitional period because there's a lot of just I don't even mean to say like it's Fortnite content for an older audience, which I guess it kind of is, right?
Hmm.
But I don't even want to like make that sound insulting to the people who make the bigger content. Like I know Courage yelling at the camera, like that's a little bit more geared towards kids, obviously, like Nick 30, that stuff. I don't mean to when I say that I don't mean to be like demeaning like you were talking about. But
Yeah, I mean they. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's totally okay. You go.
Yeah, like they definitely are, because you watch like Typical Gamer, for example. Like he is super high energetic from the
Mhm.
second you hit that play button. But then you go to his channel, and I don't remember which creators were calling the other ones out, but they were being called out. I think it was Ninja calling Cypher and them out. Because at least, give props where props is due. Ninja doesn't really put on like a fake, over
That's true.
exaggerated persona. But in return, his videos are kind of boring to that audience that
Yeah.
comes from Cypher and stuff. And actually, like, I've wanted to talk about that for the longest time. Is like, I honestly think that's what's contributed to him being like left out of that sphere now, is because like he plays with all these
Uh,
people, and it's like, like he plays with these people that make that type of content, and like he's refusing to evolve with it. It feels like to a point,
I see.
and I think that might be contributing to like, you know, the lesser views that he's getting. But I mean, I would still swap positions with him any day of the week.
I get that. I get that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, it like I said, it's in a weird transitional phase. I feel like it's just gonna take time for more adults to kind of like find this niche content.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes I worry, like I said, like if it will happen. But I mean, I think it's like every day now I'm seeing a new commentary guy where it's like, oh, this video
Yeah.
has like 50, 60K, and I'm like, let me see like their channel history, just see if I've watched one of their videos, and it's like their third upload, and I'm
I
like, oh,
know.
okay. And I'm like,
That's
dude, like it's
crazy.
awesome. It's like I'm also worried. Okay, it also worries me in the other sense of like, obviously, it's not just us thinking it. Like this type of content is evolving,
Mm.
but then at the same time, it's like, at what point do we have too many people like any other type of content that are just doing the same style of content? You know what I
I
mean?
was just about to bring that up.
Because it's like, only so many 10,000 subscriber creators can do a tier list on every Marvel item in the loot pool.
Yep.
And then at that point, like, do we just start, consuming ourselves? Because at that point, we're at the same position that we critique the other people for being at.
You're totally right, and that's coming. I was about to bring that up, so it's a very, very
Okay.
good point. Another thing that I'm worried about with the content in general is I have seen I've been thinking about this like legitimately the past couple days. I just started thinking about this. I'm worried that it's gonna be a little bit oversaturated as well with just commentary content in general. I'm not saying like nearly every channel does this. Don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about like all the ones that get so many views are just something so like so negative about Fortnite Epic Games. Like it's the this live event sucked,
Mhm.
or Epic Games doesn't make good battle passes anymore, stuff like that. Do you understand? You know what kind of videos I'm talking about?
Yeah, like reactionary.
Not
Like,
necessarily reactionary.
well, I'm
It,
saying, like, are you speaking of, like, because you gave the example of, like, this live event. Are you talking, like, something that's, like, a harsh take, like, immediately, or?
no. I meant like just it's all doomerish about Fortnite. Like the metaverse is failing. Epic Games is
Mm,
about to fall flat on its face, and I feel like
okay.
that's a lot of the commentary content that's also circling around right now.
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing I also wanted to bring up is I feel like a lot of creators mistake, like, yeah, I think we all use rage bait to a point, but I think some creators mistake that using rage bait per se doesn't have to equal that you're actually overly negative in your video. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can make a is the Fortnite metaverse failing, like a very negative sounding topic by also asking the question, but then you don't have to have that opinion that it is failing just because your video title is asking that question.
I feel like there's a good mix. I do feel like a lot of people making those videos aren't just rage bait, and there's a lot of people
Mhm.
just really dogging on Epic Games right now. I go back to the old point where it's like I don't understand. I get like talking about it for clicks, right? But I just don't understand why people continue to play this game, get so invested in this game. Like there's
Oh no,
games that I
like,
don't like.
yeah, like I don't understand, like to your point either. Like, I don't the content creators that constantly make those type of videos, cuz like even when I've done like ranking lists, like when I talk about the worst stuff, it's so much harder to talk about the worst and like negative than it is like stuff I like.
Yeah, same here.
So it's like I mean I've sat down with so many videos and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this one, and it's just like I have one strong point about like, that might be negative, and then I'm just like, all right, I can't think of anything else. Like, so I just I don't know. I mean, a lot of people do it for the clicks, and we've seen that happen a lot with creators, but that just they automatically just they got to sleep in the bed they make, though, because you're just going to garner a negative community around that. And
Yeah.
it's like once you start making those videos that aren't negative and that aren't rage bait 24/7, that's when you're going to start regretting doing it.
Then whoa, all of a sudden you got to sport a creator code. Now you're glazing.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So yeah,
Trying to make
I'm
that
worried
epic
about
money.
that. I'm worried about that for the content in general. Like you said, just everybody making the same kind of videos over on our side of the our side of the fence, and I'm also worried about just all of those negative videos kind of canceling each other out. Which, to be honest with you, I don't hate that much, but
Hmm.
you kind of get what I'm saying. It's in a weird space for Fortnite content.
Yeah, I mean that's why I try to diversify my stuff too. Of like, I don't do strictly commentary. I don't do strictly rankings. I don't do strictly retrospect because like I know. Well, first and foremost, because like I like all three of those styles, and my audience responds very well to all three of them too,
Mm.
which I'm very grateful for. Like the views pretty much carry over pretty equally between all of them, but it's also due to the part, like you said, like if it does ever get to a time where a lot of people are doing too much commentary, then I still have the other style videos to fall back
Mm.
on.
Yeah, that's
And I also
exactly right.
find it harder to make commentary videos sometimes, especially like because I said like I have very neutral opinions, and it's like I don't really know how far that's gonna get it with like you're because then you get eggs thrown at you from both sides,
Yeah.
like, oh, you're an epic glazer, or like, now you're just a hater, blah blah blah. So it's like a lot of times I just don't bother sticking my foot in a conversation because like I already know what it's gonna be.
But then there's even the people where it's like, oh my god, you're just walking the fence to please both sides.
Yeah, it's like talking about like for an example, like anything I have negative about this chapter, it's like I'm still pretty neutral. Like it's like, I really want live events to return, but I also think like what they're doing right now is pretty cool, and if we're not going to get live events, like it's a good substitute.
You think this
But
is
then
cool? You think this is
yeah,
cool,
you see,
huh?
then you're just going to get people that are pissed off on both sides. They're like, "Nah, these suck." Cuz they're like, "Nah, I want the like there's no neutral line of like, hey, like I want this thing, but if I can't have what I want, like this is a good substitute."
No, I totally get that. So, what do you think? Do you think that people should get in? It's a good time to get into the Fortnite content space.
Uh, Um, that's just such a tricky question because it seems like it from the outside looking in and seeing I can only speak for my analytics, but like seeing how my channel is received, like yes. Like I feel like we're at a point in time, especially like, just the generation wise, like anyone can really make content now. Like you have shorts, you have live streams, and it's like people nowadays, like, you see some videos where it's like just someone straight up talking over a trailer for like 15 minutes, no cuts, no edits, and it's like they get views. So it's
Yep.
like there's definitely a good time, but do I think it's a good time specifically to jump in on Fortnite? I don't know. Because I don't know if the audience is still there as much as it used to be. Well, I definitely know it's not. But also at the same point, it's just like you never know how much longer this game's gonna last too. And the content, like I don't know. It's like it's a hard question.
I think personally, it's a really good time to get in because if the way that I always look at it is when Fortnite was at its like first all-time low, like the legitimate all-time low, not just when people were just saying Fortnite's dying. It was in Chapter 2, Season 1, and that's when really Cypher kind of took over. He stuck with
Yeah,
it. He came up with new
that is
ideas.
true.
So I always
Yeah,
think, and I think that Fortnite's gonna last till the end of time. I think it's gonna be one of those staple games forever. I think it's reached its Minecraft status. I think it's reached its League of Legends status, where it's just gonna be here for good.
yeah. I mean, I surely hope so. It's mainly like the negative part of my brain that assumes the worst, but it's just like I just like as long as this game's around for 5, 10 more years, like I'll still talk about it. Like I've talked to a lot of people where it's like whether they're content creators or friends or whatever, and it's like they're just like, yeah, I just don't like the game as much, and then they ask me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I love it just as much, if not more.
Dude, I so share that opinion with you, and I understand those conversations that you have.
Because it's just like, some creators are like, I just don't see myself making, you know, I want to do something else. I don't see myself making Fortnite content in the next 5 years. And I'm like, I mean, you do you, but that's not me.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I just have
I'm,
I'll talk about something along with Fortnite, different channels.
oh,
But
different channels.
yeah, that's typically what I go with. If there's something else that I'm interested in.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an option. And that's the thing too, is like, I feel like YouTube in general, like I feel like in every genre, like of at least things that I watch, like I just see new channels popping up like all the time.
Well, I know that the YouTube
It's
algorithm's
crazy.
been working on like pushing a lot of channels for the first time. They're trying to make it easier for everybody to
Mhm.
succeed, and I think that they're doing a good job with it so far.
Wasn't there like a feature where it was like you can essentially promote a video as a community as long as the
Yeah,
user's like under 500K?
that's coming, but I don't know
Dude,
when.
that is gonna be so awesome. Like,
I don't know about that one because it's just gonna be the people close to 500 subs that are gonna dominate it.
you think so?
Yeah, because it's in a voting system, right? Whoever has the
Yeah.
most hype, or whatever what they called it, and
Well,
who's gonna get the most? The people
well, I
closest to
mean,
500.
but it could also work in the same sense as CTR. Like, someone could have a CTR that is 16% with 20 views, but you could have a CTR that's 10% with 600. Like, YouTube is going to be more likely to promote you over that other video because you have a higher statistic at a higher view count.
I
So it's
get
like
that.
maybe if you know, little Billy over here on his Roblox video has 20 promotion likes, but then you have a video with, however many views you have, and there's like 200. Like I don't think those would equal out because it's like, oh, like the percent wise. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how it comes about, eh?
I think it could be great if they implement it right.
I think it's cool that they're just adding new tools in general. YouTube's becoming like
Mhm.
such a, well, I mean, not becoming, it already is, but it's just improving constantly.
Oh yeah, it's even since I started, it's like it just feels like there's so much stuff that they've done just to like lend a hand out and like make it easier. Like even in like the studio, like some of the little tips that they put up sometimes, and then trying to make your statistics more accurate. Like it's just I don't know, it's nice.
Yep, absolutely. So, is there any other content that you would like to dive in one day? Whether that's just
That
like Fortnite content in general or just a completely different topic. I know you mentioned Marvel.
that's funny because I haven't. Well, that's a lie. I've formally announced like on my channel before that I'm working on like a channel Twisty Talks where it's like everything like nerd wise, and then
Oh.
also I haven't made it public to people like my subscribers or anything because like I kind of want to separate. Cause okay, so like the videos that I want to make with Marvel and stuff like that, like I feel like they're kind of in the same tone as this, but as this channel. But the other channel that I want to do is like horror stories and stuff. Like, have you
Oh,
ever seen
okay.
stuff of like Mr. Nightmare and stuff like that?
No, but I know what kind of videos you're talking about.
It's like I've wanted to dive into that a little bit, and I've recorded a few of them because at first I was like, maybe I should try an experiment. I know a lot of people probably would not be onto this, but I've wanted to try to just make a channel that is all AI, like 100%
Uh,
AI, like
oh, hold up. Hold up. I don't think I want to do this interview anymore.
because
Evil,
it's
evil
like
Twisty.
I don't know, it's just like the idea of like taking all of the factors that you worry about with a YouTube video and just it purely being your mind. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, no, no.
Of
I totally get that.
like not like, oh, chat gbt give me 10 scary horror stories, but like I type up my story, I get an AI voice to read it,
Yeah.
I get an AI voice, I mean an AI for like the editing software, stuff like that.
Yep.
Like I've wanted to try just to see how that goes.
And with have you heard of YouTube's? I can't remember what it's called. It's Dream something.
I have
Dreamcast.
not.
YouTube's gonna allow you to just have a for especially shorts. I don't know if it's for long form, but shorts for sure. It's gonna generate your text to a video.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know when they said they were coming out with that, but that's something in the works. So AI is gonna be more powerful with that.
Yeah, because it's like at that point, like that would never be some like my thoughts of this, right? Is it's like how many people do you see on YouTube, whether it be shorts or TikToks, that are like probably making a living wage? Excuse me, let me 1 second.
You're good.
Sorry, I had a cough.
That's okay.
Like how many people do you see that are like making a living wage off of making like edits where it's like they're not talking or
Yep.
anything like that, or like so it's like my mindset is if I can make something that produces an income that I can focus then more on my other YouTube channels,
Yep.
like why not do it? And like I want to try it so much.
Yeah, what's funny?
But
It's funny you mentioned that because I actually started something a little bit similar, and I haven't. If anybody's wondering watching this, I haven't shared it. I want it to like hopefully grow organically, but I'll send it to you after if you're interested. Because I
oh
kind of
yeah,
have the
for
same.
sure.
I have a similar idea to what you're doing because I share that idea with you.
Yeah, because and see, I'm trying to find another avenue to do it because that horror channel I was talking about, like my main thing is I've always been super insecure about like uh not me specifically, just it's like my biggest struggle with YouTube is like talking and like my voice, and it's like making sure that it's okay for the videos and all that. And it was like something like that with like storytelling. I was like, well, dang, like that's something that the best people are like they're very organic storytellers and like their voice sets the tone and
Hmm.
all that. And I had the scripts done and I was plugging them into AI for because I wanted to test that horror channel with AI. And then I just, I was like, well, for shits and giggles, like let me just record and see how I do. And then I recorded like 3 videos and I was like, heck no, like I love doing that. It's like I'm gonna try to do it with my own voice. So now I'm trying to find another avenue where I could experiment with the AI thing.
Interesting. Well, I'd love to talk to you a little more about that. That's cool. Yeah,
Oh yeah, for
let
sure.
me know if you figure out anything that you end up like hardcore doing.
Okay, bet.
So I want to talk about plans as well. What are your future goals with your channel right now? Do you have any?
In what terms, like,
Is it a sub goal? Is it to make a living off the
hmm.
channel? Anything like that?
My current goal is really only I mean, the next sub goal obviously would be 10K, but my ultimate goal is to get to a point where I'm still enjoying my content, but it's at a pace where I can afford to make it my full-time job.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of creators where it's like, oh, I just would like this is just a hobby. Like, I wouldn't want to do it full time. Like, no, I would do this full time
I think
110%.
that's crazy.
What, that they don't
Why?
want to?
Yeah, you can work from home.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't get it. Like, the passion for me is there. Like, it hasn't faded. So it's
Hmm.
like I would love to do it, but like I don't know. Like, it is my goal is to do as best as I can, and if that incorporates like going full time, I mean, then we'll do it.
Hmm. I get that. Do you
But
ever? Let me ask you this then. Do you ever experience burnout?
um, honestly, it's not the burnout in the traditional sense of laying laying in bed or something and like not wanting to do it. It's just like I get too far ahead of myself. Then
Mm.
I'm overstimulated.
I know you mentioned that. That's interesting way to experience
Yeah,
burnout.
like I'm never sitting at work and I'm like, God, I don't want to go home and record. It's just like I'm sitting at work and I have 10 ideas of stuff that I want to do
Oh,
and
dude,
I can't figure out which one I want to do first.
that's
That's
my
my
life at work. You should see I have like an entire Google Doc of like different video ideas that I haven't touched because I have a desk job and
uh-huh.
it's I just think about YouTube all day.
Oh, dude, like yeah, I have a I'm a cashier at a local retail place and it's like when they send me we have a normal like a self-checkout place which if I'm working there like obviously I can't work on videos, but if they send me down to like a lumber section or a garden section, there's like nobody watching me and it's like dude, I will literally be on my I've typed so many like video ideas and scripts and pitches for like so much stuff just at my job that it's not funny.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's funny how similar we are with some of our ideas, eh?
it's just yeah, and I mean it's nice to hear somebody feel the same way because like I talk to so many creators and they're just like, yeah, I mean, like I enjoy doing it. I kind of just, only thing I really worry about is just turning on the camera, saying what I want to say, and then it's like then I go on to the next week's video and it's like I don't really care. It's like no, like from the time that like even if I'm not posting a video on a certain day, like I'm still spending that whole day like planning the other video, recording a video, coming up with ideas. So
Mm.
it's like I'm so like wrapped around the process that it's not funny.
The only thing I don't do is script. I tried that and it's just not for me. I just
See, I
yap.
just I talk see it's the opposite for me. I talk too much. So it's like and my thoughts aren't cohesive. Like my brain, like not just with videos, but like my brain, I have such a hard time focusing on things and it's like if I don't have something in front of me being like, "Hey, like this is what you have to cover." Like it's not like I don't have like a word for word script. It's like points that I need to cover, counter rebuttals, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But if I don't have that keeping me in place, like training wheels per se, like my videos will be like 50 minutes long.
I don't think there's a
And
problem
God,
with that though.
well, with my editing style, it is because I would it would take me so
I see.
long.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. Now, I want to pause you here for a second for anybody watching this. Now, Twisty, you can't see me, but for anybody wondering what was just going on, I accidentally just slammed my glass off of my teeth when I took a drink, and then I was making
Mm.
sure I didn't smash my teeth. I was just playing with my face a little bit while you were talking there, Twisty.
Oh my,
And another
that would
thing,
be
I
okay.
just realized that probably half of this interview, I was looking over at the wrong direction because Twisty doesn't have his face cam up, and I was looking at his Discord. We're talking through Discord right now, so I apologize if I ended up looking over at the wrong side for anybody watching this, but still, they don't. I don't think that a lot of people watching this actually like watch the video. I think this is more of a listening experience, so that's totally okay. Sorry to put a pause on you there for a second.
No, you're fine.
You were talking, and I took to take a drink, and I just smashed my teeth with
Wouldn't that
the
be such a
cup.
moment? It's like, nah, I gotta go to the ER real quick. Pick up
So
the interview some other time.
I want to ask you again. It's if you don't feel like comfortable answering any of this, please just say the word. Okay. I want to ask your girl because ask about your girl because you speak so
Uh-huh.
highly about her. How do you balance your love life with the content that you make and all of the schoolwork that you're doing?
Um, a lot of sacrificing on both my end and hers. I try the best that I can to get every aspect of content creation done before, because she still works at her job. Like, she's still technically part time because we're both still in school,
Mhm.
but she works full time hours. So I pretty much have every day from like 7 to 5 to get what I need done. And I mean, there's still so many days where it's like she comes home at like 4 or 5 o'clock and it's like, oh, well, I still have a video to do. And I mean, there's never any backlash or anything from it. So I think it's just like a mutual understanding from her point that it's like something I love doing. And she's also seen that like the growth and
Hmm.
potential in letting me do this. So it's like, I think it's a mutual understanding that like we're both in different phases of like getting our career paths going. And I think she just knows that, you know, to being a good partner is just part of like understanding. And it's like she supports me 110%. So, I mean, we don't really have many issues about it like whatsoever.
I love that. How did you end up finding a girl that's so supportive of not only gaming but just like trying to grind out content creation in general?
I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows because I went through plenty of bad apples to get,
Oh
but
boy, yeah, that's kind of like what I was getting at because I have a similar experience to you where it's just somebody who's so supportive and so like
yeah,
incredible.
it's like when you ask that question, I have a hard time like I might have been fumbling my words because it's like I don't really know how to answer other than the fact of like it's just how a person should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just like, but I understand on the terms of like a lot of people aren't that way. So it is something that I understand the question 110%, but
Hmm.
it's just like I wouldn't expect her to be any other way.
Hmm.
But to answer your question of like how I found that, I mean, I stopped looking. That's always what I tell my buddies. Like
Oh,
the second, the
that's
second
how
you,
that's how I found
no,
my
go ahead.
wife.
Yep, the second you realize like, hey, I'm done playing this game and I'm focusing on me, that's when no matter what you believe, any higher powers, whatever, the universe will send the right person at that right amount of time. Because
Dude,
that's the lesson you have to learn.
that is so true. Well, I was gonna ask you too. Do you have any message for anyone looking for to find any sort of supportive partner? Because I know there's a lot of people that would like. They describe like whenever they're trying to not even just for YouTube when they try to
Mhm.
describe like, oh, I'm trying to pursue this, I'm trying to make money with this, they end up describing their partner as something like a ball and chains. And I'm like, dude,
Mhm.
I don't know how the hell you deal with that because I've had nothing but niceness in my on my end.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who
Yeah,
give up.
I mean it's like I said, like I tell all of my buddies, like I said, like the se- the biggest thing that you have to do is focus on yourself and realize that I mean it's easy for me to in retrospect to look back and say, like what I'm saying now. But like I want to emphasize like the point of my life where I decided to make that change, also outside of like in my personal life, family life, like it was the hardest time of my life. So like it it was a terrible time to have to go through all that, but like I truly think that no matter, because there's a lot of people, it's like, oh, well, I'm just so lonely, like I can't do that. It's like, well, you have to do it because you're not going to get where you want until you make that decision to like focus on yourself and just stop playing these stupid games that boys, like guys and girls, like to play in society nowadays.
Yep.
Because
Just
you'll be stuck in it for eternity.
keep improving yourself, keep focusing on yourself, turn yourself into the best person that you could possibly be, and the right person will come. I so
Hmm.
support that.
And you'll feel it too. Like it'll force its way on. Because like I've told my friends and my girlfriend knows this too. Is like we hung out the first 2 or 3 times, and I was very open about how I've had a crappy past in the past. At that time, this was like 2019. I was like, I've had a terrible time like with partners recently, and you're really gonna have to like knock me over the head if you want anything. And then 3 months later, I fell in.
Well, that you know what's funny is that's just what's attractive, right? The assertiveness, the knowing what you
Mhm.
want, the hey, you come
Yeah,
here and impress me.
yeah. I tell my one of my friends, he's been my lifelong friend, and he, I'm always like, bro, you have to have the 3 month rule. Like no matter how much you're into this person, like you have to stand strong. And if it 3 months in and you still feel the same way and you guys are clicking, then go for it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. I mean I've seen, but like I said, the whole stop and wait and focus on yourself. It worked for me. It worked for one of my other best friends, and it's
Oh,
just like
it works for everybody, dude. That's
the
the way to
people that
go.
yeah, the people that don't do it. And I mean, as much as I love the people in my life that haven't done it, I mean they're still in the same spot
Hmm.
that they were in 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's totally true. So it's nice to hear, like, because you don't hear it too often. It's nice to hear like somebody do so busy doing so much, and especially like trying to grind YouTube and still having a supportive partner along their side. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, I don't know how I would do it any other way. I mean, it's already so exhausting, and it's like to have somebody over your shoulder
Yeah.
reminding you of how much you're doing. Like, I guess, I mean, there's days where it's like YouTube, job, YouTube, come home,
Hmm.
DoorDash till 10 o'clock, come home after 10 o'clock, and stay up till 2 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m., and it's like, I could not see her. Like, but on the flip side, I also still make sure that even if it's only for like an hour a day, that the time that I do initiate like a purely like me and you time.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, even after this podcast later, we haven't really not podcast. I'm sorry, I'm so used
You're
to
good.
having you
You're
on
good.
the podcast. But after this, we've already established like we're gonna go on a little drive for like 20 or 30 minutes, and just
Oh,
we like to do that a lot. And
that's
it's just
important.
I think that's probably what I would say is like, even if you're not able to give your partner like all the time that you think they deserve, like at least make the time that you are able to give quality. Because then at least they know that, like, hey, you're putting in effort.
Yeah, like I love that attitude, dude. I love it. It's funny. It's funny. Like, I know I've been getting to know you a little bit, but it's funny how similar we are in a little bit. Sorry, guys. One more jump cut. Go.
Yeah, but I mean, it is like you said though. I mean, it's refreshing because they're. It's nice to know that like because there's people. Of course, every content creator goes through the same thing, but it's like the little details. I feel like that's where it's most relatable, and that's when it's been so nice for me to like talk to other creators of like like not everybody. I don't know how to put it. It's just like even if you have everything that like everyone wants on the outside, like it's still a struggle. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get that.
Like I'm lucky financially, I'm lucky relationship wise with both my partner and my friends and my brother, stuff like that. Like I'm extremely lucky, but like it's still not, sunshine and rainbows. Like you still gotta go through it.
I get that. So I am gonna let you go for your drive soon over here. I want to ask you before we take off. I want to ask you a couple Fortnite questions.
Oh, no,
One
you're good.
season, not multiple. What is your all-time favorite season and least favorite season of Fortnite?
Favorite chapter 2 season 4, least favorite chapter 3 season 3.
Yeah, vibe and makes sense. Any particular reason
Uh-huh.
for why both?
Um chapter 2 season 4, it was just like I think everything that you want out of a Fortnite season was there. Like I mean, we had you obviously had your base loot pool. Like I think the chapter 2 loot pool was already just so good the way it was, but
Hmm.
just like the Marvel superpowers were just so fun. I mean, obviously it has partially to do like with how big of a Marvel fan I am, but I just loved everything about the season. Like
Hmm.
I wish we could go back and like the LTM that we had, like oh gosh.
Dude, which one? Knockout?
The yes, dude,
Yeah,
I
that
I
was so much
love
fun.
that so much.
You want to hear an
But
unpopular take?
then, huh?
You want to hear an unpopular take?
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually liked the regular knockout more than the Marvel knockout.
Really?
Yeah, nobody else agrees with me on that.
Dude, I don't know. It was just like it's so different than like the traditional Fortnite stuff
Yeah,
because it's like like all Marvel powers and it's so randomized. It was
it,
just so fun.
oh, both of them were an absolute blast. I Before I ask you the Fortnite question, I completely forgot that I
Mhm.
want to ask you about Marvel. What got you into so much? What got you into Marvel so much?
Just uh as a kid, it was like just the general superhero thing, but like growing up, being able to look past like the initial like value of like ooh superheroes when you're a kid. Like I feel like once you get older you can still stick with it and see like the true meanings behind like the comics that you read, the movies
Hmm.
you watch, and like the characters. And like for me it's like Spider-Man. Like everything about like that's what a lot of Spider-Man's fans say is like, yeah, I love Spider-Man, but it's like mostly Peter. Like how
Yeah,
relatable of like and it's just like it's something that's just stuck with me for my whole life. And it's like I don't as I get older, I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you going on 23 and I have so much Marvel stuff around my desk. Like it's not going anywhere.
that's awesome. Do you still keep up with all the movies and shows? I fell out of love with Marvel just a little bit, like the MCU I'm talking about.
Well, see, my love for Marvel was like far before MCU, so it's like
Hmm.
I don't I don't attribute like oh like when I say like oh I'm a Marvel fan, it's not like oh I
Yeah,
like the movies. It's like
I should
the
have phrased this
movies are an
question more.
add-on.
I should have
But it's
phrased the
like,
question better. Sorry
no,
about
no,
that.
you're good. No, no, you're good. But I'm still as in with Marvel as I've ever been. But the movies, I've kept up with all the movies, the shows, and no, I I stopped. I think the last show that I watched was, I don't even remember the release order. It was either She-Hulk or Miss Marvel.
Oof. I haven't watched either.
I
I heard horrible things.
Dude, I love Miss Marvel.
Oh,
Like
really?
speaking, dude, it's one of my favorite projects that the
I
MCU's put
heard
out.
bad
I
things
love
about
it
it.
so much. Well, see, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's made for a younger generation," but like, dude, it was just so good. I
Wow.
loved it.
What's your favorite Marvel movie?
And MCU or just in general.
In general.
Um, I don't know. I'd have to say either Spider-Man 2 or Civil War.
Really? Out
Yeah,
of
I
all of them?
loved Civil War. Yes, I love Civil War so much. It's so special.
Dude, they honestly they were both so good. What if you're talking about a
Yeah.
Spider-Man and an Avengers movie? I gotta go Infinity War and No Way Home.
See, I love I see that's another thing we can dive into if you want. I mean, I I love Peter in the MCU, but and I love No Way Home and I love Far From Home, but Homecoming is like always gonna be my favorite.
Really?
It
Okay.
was so special, man, of like, because I was at the age where it was like I was able to fully appreciate, like I grew up with the MCU and it's like finally getting him in the MCU. Like I know Civil War was his introductory, but it's like
Hmm.
just the specialness of like it felt so like Ultimate Spider-Man, which is like the comics that I loved, the video game, and it's just like it was so awesome. Like
I get
I
that.
love that movie so
No,
much.
I not nothing against it. I love it as well. I just
But you
it's
can't
for
go wrong with
Spider-Man.
No Way Home.
It's tough to it's for me. It's tough to beat have it all three in one movie, man.
Oh, dude, like going. See, that's another thing. Like we can tie that back to the Fortnite people of like nobody being grateful. Like it's always like, oh, this Spider-Man's good at this one sucks, and this one's okay. It's like, no, dude, like all three of them are great. Like I still get like giddy when I like scroll across TikTok and I'm like, oh my god, like yeah, we got all three of them, and then
Yeah.
it's like watching them swing together and like, because you know, you're a couple years older than me, but like our age demographic of like our range, like you got to grow up with Toby, and then it's like, you know, your younger years with Andrew, and then like into adulthood, like Tom started coming out. So it's just like seeing all three of them together and like growing up with them in like different aspects. It was just so, I love it.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a special thing either way. Like Homecoming, like they made so many good movies, dude. I always say Infinity War is my favorite movie of all time.
Infinity War is so good. I will die on the hill that it is so much better than Endgame. And
Oh
I
yeah.
liked Endgame.
Hmm.
Infinity War, dude, like sitting there, like me and my buddy in high school, like we made it a tradition where it's like every Thursday premiere we go to. And dude, like I don't think I've experienced something the same as just like looking around a full theater of like what the hell just happened? Like what? And it wasn't even just the shock value of that. Like the movie was just so good.
Yep. When that movie ended, I still remember. Like, I looked over at my brother. I watched it with my brother and my dad, and I looked over at my brother. I said, "That's the best movie I've ever seen."
Yeah, dude, I'm right there. It's in my top. Infinity War is my second favorite MCU,
Hmm.
but Civil War, dude, like it was just like the culmination, not the culmination. It was the start of the like the decline with like between the members and like the conflict. It was just, dude, it was so. It's where the cracks started to show, and it
Oh,
was just like,
I'm so
I
there with
loved
you.
it.
That's definitely up there. I'd have to think about it, but like top five for sure for me.
Yeah, I would say Civil War, Infinity War, and then Winter Soldier are my top three.
Those are yeah. I wouldn't argue with that one. That's for sure.
I'm a big Cap fan too, so it's like anything with Cap and Spider-Man, dude, I'm all in. Team Cap over Iron Man any day.
Oh, oh, that's tough. That's tough. I understand both sides, but I think Iron Man's cool.
I just like Cap.
I
As a character, it's like I like Cap a lot more.
Yeah, fair enough. I won't argue there. But anyways, we got a little bit sidetracked there because I do
Yeah, my
again.
bad,
I
my
do
bad.
what? No, no. I'm the one who asked the question, dude. So, if there's one Fortnite creator that you could have people after this video that you suggest people go watch, who is it?
Just one?
Yeah, give somebody a shout out. Some content that you love.
Ah, someone someone that I watch daily. I mean, I have a group of YouTubers that do Fortnite that I watch daily. But yeah, like in our sphere, I know it's a little bit biased because, you know, he's part of my circle, but I definitely say Pojo. Like I feel
Agreed.
like just talking to him of like he has that same understanding of like content creation, and like he doesn't care what gets him views. Like he talks about like what he wants to talk about, and like I
Hmm.
feel like those are the people that get that deserve it the most. Of like they're making the like that's what content is it's
Yeah,
like here's why I like this, like here's my art to you, and it's just like I feel like he deserves so much more recognition. And
that's
even
so
like
well said.
his Fortnite videos are really good too. Like he has some strong opinions. He dives into them very detailed. It's not just like, oh, I don't like this and blah blah blah, move on. And I can't say enough about just like how much I admire the fact of like even if something's getting more views on the other thing, he's like, no, I want to talk about this movie, this video game, blah blah blah. So it's like I'm putting that content out because it's what I want to do.
I love that attitude. I agree with that. So guys, I will also leave Pojo's links in the pinned comment description down below for you guys to go check out as well. And Twisty, obviously your links will be there, but I mentioned that already.
I appreciate that. But yeah, other than Pojo though, I mean, there's so many like people just in our niche right now where it's like I just feel like including you, it's just like Smurf, Clark, all these
Hmm.
guys like, and that's why I was hesitant a little bit because it's like like all of us are getting exposure, but I still don't think it's enough for a lot of you guys.
Oh, like I said, we'll all get there. We're gonna take over. I'm ready.
And especially like dude, there's just so many creators like just come to my mind when I think about that, and it's
Hmm.
like some of them are already getting up there, like
Yeah.
Tyler, gosh, I always mix up his full YouTube name, but it's the Tyler guy that does all the rankings. Like he made a ranking, like ranking every Fortnite chest, like, and it's just like dude, like the dedication to that, like I'm all for it. I love
Yeah,
it.
I agree with that. So there is one
Better
more
than a
Fortnite
shirt.
question I did want to ask you.
Hmm.
If you were in charge of Epic today, what is one thing that you change about Fortnite immediately? Under you have no restrictions, you get to change one thing. What do you do?
I could change one thing immediately
Yep,
without any restrictions at all.
you get to pick.
I would take the concept of reload and I would have it revolving around each chapter like in its own set. Like kind of like how Call of Duty has done it.
Hmm.
It's like have like a chapter 1 version of reload, a chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. And even I mean heck, next week make a chapter 5 one.
That's a
Cuz it's like
possibility because we know there's going to be map rotations.
yeah, and it's just like I know there's a lot of other things you could say of like, "Oh, give me this collab that I want." But like something that I think would actually like help him as a company is definitely that. Cuz
Yeah.
it's like how much longer can you go on with like the whole making OG seasons, and then I feel like half the stuff that we have to deal with the new seasons of like nerfs and stuff like that is because of a lot of people that want that OG. And it's like no matter there's people that want chapter 1 back, chapter 2, chapter 3, so it's like please them all.
Yeah, but then they'll just complain that reload's too sweaty.
Well, yeah, but I
I
that's
don't think there's pleasing the vast majority of the player base, so Epic should do what they want.
I don't understand that either. Like the whole like reloads too sweaty. It's just like I don't know, like I don't think it is. And I'm like someone that loves reload, but I think it's just chaotic. I think people get the assumption of sweaty and chaotic mixed up too
Oh,
much. And
that's
that's like the whole purpose of reload. It's a
that's a good
smaller
point.
map. Smaller map, it's like people are able to respawn, so you're able to take more risk than BR. That's why you're getting pushed so much, is because people can respawn.
Yeah, but then those same people like play OG Fortnite and be like, "Oh my god, I didn't find anybody for like 10 minutes. I'm not playing a looting simulator, Epic Games."
Yeah, walking simulator, where's the enemies? But then the second you give me a small, like that's one of the biggest critiques of the chapter 1 map is there's too much open space.
Yep.
So they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's give you a reload map where there's no open space because the map's small. We got, all your big hitter POIs except without the walking simulator that you
Hmm.
guys hated 5 years ago. And yeah, now like you said, like there really is no pleasing, but
Hey, that's what I always say, man. There's no pleasing the community. There's no pleasing people. Epic Games should just do what they want.
there I wish they would, because then, I think we even see that with like season 3 and 4, dude. Like the nerfs have just been so
Yeah,
ugh.
too much. It's been way
They
too
just need
much.
that casual and comp balance just needs to be there.
I have high hope for Chapter 6, though. I think it's all going to be okay. I think it's all going to work out. I don't think the community's going to get any better, but I think that the game's going to... It's going to be in a good state. I think they learned a lot from Chapter 5.
Yeah, I feel like we're at that point, like you said, like with chapter 5. Like I feel like they've learned of like maybe. I mean, I like the metaverse, but I think at first it seemed like they had to go all in because like I mean they're trying this out, but I
Yeah.
think they've learned a lot from that, and it's like they've been able to give us the chapter that they have while also putting resources into other things, and it's
Mhm.
like I can't imagine with chapter 6 now of like now they have those resources for like these metaverses they're made like the games are made.
Mhm.
So it's like I can't imagine like what they're going to give us with that.
Yeah.
Now that they can put even more attention on BR, which I don't think has been an issue to be clear at all.
It's not.
We've gotten this season like this season and this chapter like the amount of content that we've gotten, like it's been even if you don't like all of it, like it's just been absolutely crazy.
Yeah. No, I'm completely with you on that.
Like we're coming off literally right now one of the best seasonal events that they've ever dropped is still
Yeah, I
happening.
was shocked to see all the backlash that we saw on that.
Oh my, I
But
was watching Smurf stream yesterday and some guy's like, "Yeah, this is the worst Fortnite mirrors that we've ever had." I was like, "Dude, you're trolling. There's no way. What, do you want to go back to a random party for chapter 3 with Rick and Morty? Was
yeah.
that the best Fortnite mirrors for you?"
Yeah, like I said, man, there's no pleas in this community. You never will.
Yeah, it's just like you said, you're not gonna please them. But then the second that we aren't on this map anymore, we're not on a loop, and they find something else to be upset about.
Mhm. And all of
Because
a sudden they're
I,
gonna miss Rebel's Roost.
yeah, because I was talking about Smurf yesterday, and he was like, "It's actually a good point with the metaverse. Is like, I think people just have something to point their finger at now for
Oh yeah.
Fortnite's failures. So it's like once that's like I feel like that was always that's just the scapegoat now of like, oh, it's the metaverse. They don't care about BR anymore. But then
Eh,
it's, next year it's gonna be something
It's gonna
else.
be Disney.
The Disney mode, it's taking away. Let's
But you
gosh.
know what? I will say, like, to point fingers at Disney, that probably will have a little bit of merit because they actually do have a little bit of a
Oh yeah.
say.
Yeah,
So
like I'm not buying a Buzz Lightyear skin if I can't use it in BR. Like that's
yeah.
stupid. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that will be. You're right. I think there will be more merit there because I can see Disney likes to step in and be a big player on stuff that's
Yeah,
already good. So
they're gonna get
yeah.
their fingers all over Fortnite. That's a little bit of worry of mine.
As long as I get all the members of the Sinister Six in the game, I'll take it.
That'd be so hype, dude. But
Or
anyways,
Mickey Mouse boxing people up.
Twisty, do you have any closing remarks or anything you'd like to share? I will already have your links in the pinned comment description down below for anybody to go check out, but the floor is yours.
I mean, just thanks to anybody that's cared enough to watch to the end, and a big thank you to you for even considering of having me on. I think this is a great thing to do. Like it's one of the best parts of content creation is getting to know other content creators and all the ones that you've done, including mine, just like the insight that it gives people, plus, you as the host and then whoever's your guest. I think it does a lot of good and I'm just extremely honored that you had me up on here.
Oh, dude, the honor's all mine. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
Anything else to say, Twisty, before we log off today?
Stay twisty.
Stay twisty. I love it. It's always really fun getting to know these guys, man. And I'm sorry if I don't know if my microphone level was well. I was looking at the levels throughout the entire thing because again, I'm under the weather, so I'm trying to like keep my voice a little bit as not nasally as possible as we as we talk it over here. But anyways, it's really cool like getting to know these guys. Like I found out like specifically with Twisty, there's a lot of just general thoughts that we share in common. I think it's really cool to get to know these guys more. I've been getting to know Twisty more and more, and it's been an honor to get to know both him and all of these guys over at the Worthless Opinions podcast. And I can't wait to only get to know him even more. So, guys, like I said earlier on, pin comment, description down below. Please go show TwistyChase some love because he makes fantastic, fantastic content. I really respect, admire him as a person, and I cannot wait to get to know him. And it's an honor to start being able to call these guys friends, man, because Twisty is a really, really awesome guy, and I hope you guys go share him the same love that you've shown me over here. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for coming, guys. If for some reason you're already subscribed to TwistyChase, I will have 2 videos over here for you to check out. Little tiny bit of a jump cut over here. My camera was tracking me, but right now you can check out either Dagwomi's interview or you can check out Loot Station's interview. We had both of them over there. I would love to have you guys over there. Take care, everybody.